From the outset of this build, I attempted to create the most practical and functional Mitsubishi Express that I could, attempting to utilise every inch of what is a relatively compact space. And I'm very happy with the result. I'm Lockie Mac, and this is my Mitsubishi Express conversion. The first question I usually get asked when I'm showing off the build is, how do you sleep on this? Yeah, it's really quite simple. You just crawl into a little ball like this and hate yourself. I'm kidding. The ability to get good sleep is one of the major components of a good van build, which is why one of the first things I designed was this bed frame that slides out vertically. From here, the two cushions that form the backrest of the couch slide down the front to create a bed that is 188 centimeters long and 1 meter across, or roughly the size of a king single. The bed comfortably sleeps a solo traveller with enough room for two, as long as you don't mind spooning. The mattress was homemade from a double bed camping mattress from Clark Rubber, and I sewed together some removable mattress covers out of a canvas cotton blend I found at Spotlight. These are my trial mattress covers, and I've left them on there as just a bit of an extra protector for it. Given that you only spend 30 a day sleeping, I wanted to facilitate a nice cozy space to chill, eat some food, read a book, or do some work while out on the road, which is how we got my fold down table. This is a super simple table design. It folds down on hinges and is supported by chains. The desk folds down to sit just comfortably above my knees and has a 1500 watt inverter here, so I can plug my laptop in and edit videos for this channel while I'm away from home. It's also quite nice for movie nights. The third essential component of my van build was somewhere nice to prepare meals on, which brings us to the front of my van and my pull-out cooker. Perfect for an eggs and bacon brekkie cook-up. However, I also wanted to accommodate for potential bad weather, so I've built a liftable lid and a little fold-down flap, so in an emergency you can still cook some dinner or make a coffee inside. I left a little cavity under this cabinet to store my pots and pans, as well as adding a pop-out table in this cupboard to give you one more surface while preparing food. With these three major components taken care of, I wanted to dedicate the rest of my build to as much storage space as possible. So let's start with the main storage cabinet. This cabinet here is where I store my clothes, miscellaneous snacks, and awning wall for easy access. Moving on to my other cabinet. In here is where I keep my little 12-volt blow and suck vacuum cleaner, which is super handy for cleaning out the van quickly, especially when on beach holidays. I've also snuck a little cutlery drawer up here to make the most of this space. This side here houses my battery box, which we'll come back to later, as well as that little pop-out drawer that I showed you earlier. Under the bed frame, we have 3 pull-out storage boxes made out of 12mm ply, with 2 on this side and 1 long one over here. I also built a large sliding drawer that pulls out the back, and left a small cavity in here for secret storage, as well as access to the jack in case we ever blow a flat. For my electrical, I'm running a King's 12-volt setup with my battery box under here as a main hub, as well as a user-friendly control panel hidden in this panel here. This runs my fridge, which is a Dometic CF45, as well as my vent fan, which is an essential item for controlling temperature inside a van build. This is a 5-speed fan with 2 speeds for in and 3 speeds for out. The fan blowing air in helps to facilitate a cross breeze in here, keeping the temperature cool even in summer on like 45-degree days. And the fan going out is great if you're ever cooking, and it helps control the condensation in winter when you're sleeping. My 12 volt also powers my inverter, as well as my lighting, which I'll show off once it gets a bit darker. To charge my battery, we have an isolator that runs off the alternator, as well as a 110 watt solar panel on the roof, which charges while I'm parked up. Outside we have a King's awning, which is wonderful for camping in hot weather or for beach days. And I also built the lid on this drawer to double as a table if you ever want to kick back here with some deck chairs and some wine, have some cheese and enjoy a nice view. Privacy and being able to block out the world is something that is super important while you're camping or living on the road. So to keep my space private, I sewed together these little curtains out of double-sided material. And a little trick I came up with to keep them shut even better was sewing magnets into the corners to help hold them tight against the body of the van, which gives you just a little bit more privacy than you'd have without it. The best example of the magnets working is on this window here. You can see that's where it wants to hang without the magnets, but with, you just clip it on and you gain a lot more privacy. I've tried to spruce up the front of the van with some nice new door cards, as well as some clean R.M. Williams seat covers, as well as a matching steering wheel cover to tie it all together. Inside the cup holders, I've taken off cuts from the floorboards I installed and made nice little inserts to fit the vibe a little bit better. We've also chucked down some floor mats, as well as adding some personal decorations. I've also installed some other little features that these vans don't come stock with, such as power windows and air conditioning. The original van that I bought didn't have air conditioning, and while you get used to driving with windows down, it's just one of those small luxuries that makes such a big difference. For the safety side of things, I keep jumper leads and a fire extinguisher behind the passenger seat. The van is a manual 2006 with 193,207 kilometers at the time of filming this video. So now that it's a little bit darker outside, I wanted to run you through the LED setup that we've got in the van. So following the whole way along the roof, I've got strip RGB LED lights that are controlled by this remote here. So the separate LED strips are controlled by the same remote. However, I've installed two sensors on the opposite sides of the van, meaning that they can be controlled individually or together. So while the white lighting does a great job of illuminating the van, I also want the opportunity to create a nice atmosphere while away, which is where the coloured controls come into it. I'm not sure how well it translates to the camera, but having warmer lighting in here is so much nicer at night time and makes the space feel really cozy. The advantage of two separate strips means you can create some really nice colour combinations in here. On top of that, there's also a bunch of automated light features to play around with, which I think adds to a pretty wicked lighting setup. I hope you enjoyed that tour of my little Mitsubishi Express. This has taken me about a year to build in weekends and nights after work, so it is so nice to be at this point where I can sit back, show off my work and say it's finally done. I would love to get your feedback on anything you thought about the build down in the comments below. If you'd like to see how I put this build together, I've got an entire series on the rest of my channel going step by step and showing you how you might be able to create a similar build yourself. Outside of that, thank you so much to everyone who's been following my journey as I've gone along, asking me questions, showing me your build, or just giving some encouragement. It's been super fun, I get a massive kick out of it, and I look forward to showing you what comes next. Thanks guys.